Hello, people of the world that watch new vehicle reviews on the internet. Welcome to this, the 2026 Audi SQ8. It might look like a soccer mobile for fancy people, but they stuffed a spicy twin-turbo V8 under the hood. So today I'm going to get up in the air, we're going to nerd out in the tech specs, see how this thing is constructed, and then go give it the beans. So first things first, quad outlet exhaust, metal tips finished in black, and it is active on the outer tips. This opens and closes. You can equip this with a tow hitch, and I was kind of shocked when I was doing my research before filming this review. This thing will tow almost 8,000 pounds. Housed in the center of a steel rear subframe is the optional sport rear differential, part of the sport package. It has a 3.204 final drive ratio. It's actually a rather advanced looking differential. You can see there's sensors all over the place on it, fins for cooling. Also has torque vectoring capabilities along with all-wheel steering. Just up above this heat shield right here is the actuator. You can see the high voltage cables that move these upper links in and out, which are attached to the knuckle and cause the rear wheel to steer. In addition to the diff with the sport package, you also get the active roll bar system, where it has this giant robot muscle, essentially part of the rear anti-sway bar. It manipulates the functionality of the rear anti-sway bar. Out back, the SQ8 utilizes a 5-link multi-link rear suspension configuration, all of which manufactured out of aluminium, including the rear knuckle. There's really no point in measuring the rear anti-sway bar since it's equipped with this system, but if I don't, I will have to, 26 mil. The air bladder you see comes standard, part of the adaptive air suspension, and just behind it, the damper is brought to you by Socks, made in Slovakia. Moving forward, got some steel chassis bracing right here, still true dual, and then into an H pipe in the exhaust, steel drive shaft, more chassis bracing with hairy cardboard underneath it. Lots of heat shielding. The Audi SQ8 is built upon the MLB Evo platform, and this one fully spec'd out, as you see here, weighs in at 5,280 pounds. Really nice construction on the exhaust system. Got two little resonators right there in the middle. Each pipe 70 millimeter in diameter a piece, which is about 2 3/4 inch each. As far as the transmission is concerned, it comes standard with the ZF-sourced 8HP90 8-speed automatic transmission, has a maximum torque input rating of 900 newton meters or 663 pound-feet. It's got a finned plastic transmission pan. It is paired to the Quattro all-wheel drive system featuring a Torsen self-locking center differential. Normally operates in a 40-60 front to rear split, although it can vary from 70% to 30 or 15 to 85. Up inside the passenger side tunnel where the downpipe comes from, there is the drive shaft, which is aluminium going to the front axle. You can see it right there. It actually might be an outer sleeve for the drive shaft, and the drive shaft's inside it. It's not as cramped up there as I thought it was going to be. There's lots of heat shielding everywhere. What is a little tricky to see is the steering rack. It is just above this. Whoa, that's like carbon fiber. That's sick. Or fiberglass. My Quattro has the same kind of panel up by the intercooler on it, Audi keeping tradition. Anyway, it's an electromechanical, speed-dependent power assist rack and pinion with a 13.3:1 ratio. Up front, again, it utilizes an all-aluminium in construction 5-link multi-link suspension. Again, paired with a set of those Socks adaptive front air dampers, dual upper ball joints. Just like the rear, aluminium front knuckles. Ball joints are easily removable for maintenance. Front anti-sway bar, which very well may have that same system as out back, because I have to measure everything. 28 millimeter in change diameter. All right, it's time for the braking test. Nothing behind me. Ready, set, stop. Yep. Whoa! The Audi Presense thing on the heads-up display and gauge cluster are showing a little hieroglyph of a red car and an arrow. Yeah, the braking is violently aggressive. The stopping distance, I was expecting it to be short, and it did not disappoint. Nice pulsation from the ABS, strong pedal feel, in short stopping distance. That braking was just made possible thanks to an absolutely enormous 6-piston monoblock front caliper with a 400mm or 15.8-inch front rotor. The wheels, they are an optional 23x10 wrapped in a set of two 85/35 23-inch Continental Sport Contact 6 tires. Very BBS style look to it, got some concavity to them. Gunmetal with the little RS logo, machine face. Inner fender liners are fabric woolish. Ride height, very low. I can't even get the foam finger sideways in there. The side vents are functional for the dual side mount intercoolers. Little amber guy down here by the lower fog lamp portion, and then up above, more LEDs as well as laser headlighting. We also see little LEDs peeking through the corner of the grille right here, the radar system, front facing cam, and that is for the night vision. All the trim down the side is carbon fiber. You can see the rear inner fender liners is like this honeycomb fabric pillow to keep it quiet. Out back, you drop down significantly to a single piston caliper with a 350mm or 13.8-inch rear rotor. The wheel and tire, square stance, same size as you have up front. In the name of science, it is now time to give it the beans. But first, assessment of bolstering. Excellent bolstering. The seat is more adjustable than I know what to do with. The seats are black leather with the optional red quilted stitch and the S logo in it. It is both heated, ventilated, as well as full massaging. Relaxation. Ooh, there we go. And the seat belts are red. The steering wheel is rather big and airy. It's got the little S-line badge in the bottom. As far as drive modes go, I have an area of the secondary screen that says Drive Select, and go from Comfort to Auto, Dynamic, Individual, and tap on the little notepad, and you can configure drive, suspension, steering, and engine sound. As well as I have all-road and off-road. I can't imagine taking this thing off-road on these tires and 23-inch wheels. I can also drop the shift lever down into drive or pull it again to put the transmission into its own sport mode here at Build Up Revs. I can move the shift lever in the center up and down sequentially, or I have some plastic flappy paddles on the back of the steering wheel that turn with it when you turn. As far as traction control goes, tap on the little car doing a burnout. I put it to sport or press and hold it to fully defeat everything. All right, let's see what this thing can do. Give it a launch and let it eat. Ready? Go. All right, yeah, that's a launch. Fuck yeah. Holy shit. I like the little surges on the shifts. That's good. Man, that is a aggressive launch. That was good. Pop in the hood. That's a big hood. And I don't know, it doesn't feel too heavy. Underneath the head of the Audi SQ8 is the EA825, which is a 4-liter bi-turbo 4-cam 90-degree V8, which produces 500 horsepower at 5,000 RPM and 568 pound-feet of torque from 2,000 to 4,000 RPM. And if that's not enough, there's an even spicier SQ8 that has 630 horsepower. Hopefully this just pops off and they didn't do some magician shit. Maybe if I do these little tabs. Aha! There we go. Whoa, that's where the air filter is at. Neat! I like how they did that. It's like a Ram Air setup. Well, I was really hoping I could take this off and get a good look underneath there, but it's not meant for just quick access. Oh, that's gonna make a satisfying pop when it goes into place. Yep, I like that. Looking from the front, you can see where the air is coming in through the grille into the giant air filter on top, but right here you can see where it's going down to those air-to-air side mount intercoolers. Digging a little bit deeper on this 3996cc V8, it is perfectly squared at an 86 by 86 millimeter bore and stroke with a 10-to-1 compression ratio, has a deep skirted aluminum block as well as aluminum heads. Moving up into those heads, it has variable valve timing on intake and exhaust cams as well as Audi valve lift, and it is a chain-driven engine, but this time it only has 2 timing chains instead of 4 like the previous 4.2 liter. Still located in the rear of the engine, but don't worry about that. You don't change timing chains like you do oil. And if you do, you're doing something wrong. Also, the 2 turbochargers, it's in a hot V in the center of the engine, and it does have direct fuel injection only. Well, that is a surprising treat. Look at all the room to access for maintenance down here on the driver's side of the engine bay. Passenger side, a little bit trickier because you got the coolant expansion chamber here. Looking in the center of the screen right here, that is the top of the transmission bell housing. You can see the downpipe goes over it. Little distribution block since the battery is located out back, a ground point. That right there is the brains controlling this entire operation, the Bosch ECU. All right, it takes 40 weight, nice. In my personal opinion, I think we're witnessing the pinnacle of Audi's automobiles right now with this bi-turbo V8 and the crazy 5-cylinder and the RS3. I don't think it'll ever get any better than this. That sounds so good. This thing revs fairly high too, just shy of 7 grand. It's pretty flat. I was expecting it to be a little bit more wobbly because it is a little cross. No, that's very hot hatchy going around a corner. It's heavy. You can feel it in the tires, kind of struggling at its limit, but it is not top heavy. This is like a giant Golf R with a V8 under the hood is what it is. If you like make good money now and you have a small family and you've always been a fan of hot hatches, maybe you had a GTI back in the 90s or something, this is your daily right here. Yeah, it stays planted. You can feel the weight. That thing pulls. And I love that there's an even more batshit version of this. I feel like there is a little bit of detuning happening with this. Smooth over those bumps right there. I feel like it's being held back a little bit because the RS version exists. Like this engine is capable of more. It's not being really stressed right now. And I mean, that's a good thing too. Brakes are phenomenal considering how heavy it is. This is a big hot hatch. If you're not a fan of crossovers and you think they're abysmal, I don't think you could frown driving this thing, especially with a V8 sound. It's so weird hearing a V8 sound coming out of something that looks like this. And the fact that it's got a proper longitudinal quattro system, not a Haldex based one. It's still pretty comfy. I'm not feeling the little imperfections in the road, but it's stiff, it's firm, it's got some weight to it, as does the steering's weird. It's video gamey around town and just kind of numb and electric, but right now it's got nice heft to it. Yeah, this is good. This is really good. Yeah, I feel the weight right there on an off-camber corner. That's hard to say. Coming down around a bend right there, I could feel the weight of it, and that's why this thing has got massive 10-inch wide wheels on 285s. But I mean, this is the type of vehicle you want, the massaging seats and the ventilation and the ultimate amount of sound deadening this thing has, so you could hear a fly fart. Now, a little critique though, when you have it in just regular drive mode and you go to punch it, let me put it in drive mode, it's still in dynamic, but I punch it, there's a couple second delay there on the throttle response. I'm gonna put it into sport mode. Yeah, little bit of a delay because it has to drop it down a gear. This thing is seriously like a giant GTI, but for fancy adults. And the taillight panel is all carbon fiber. It matches with the Audi logo. The unibrow taillight. This thing actually has a surprisingly massive rear storage area. Little LED bar lights, the track for, oh, that's super heavy duty. Can't tell if suede or carpet. It's like both. It's like Swarpet. This. Ah, whoa, that's a weird spare. Little subwoofer. Actual metal. Tiny nets where you could store some celery. You cannot tell me the button to shut and open the hatch is not a TT. Oh, it's got the kicky thingy too. I'll fall if I try that. I don't use it like this. Miles of legroom in this thing. There are speakers everywhere. Oh, they're up here. There's speakers behind the headrests. Carbon fiber trim. That is an extra package though. Is this what I think it is? Yeah. There's an ashtray in the back in case your children smoke, I guess. Or they can, I don't know, put gummy bears in there. I have two window. The rear seats are heated. They're not ventilated though. And I have my own dual zone digital climate control back here. Two USB-Cs, an old school 12-volt outlet, very high traffic feeling carpet, durable, LED map lights. Rear seats are quilted with the red belts just like up front. This feels very businessy already. Plastic handle, yep. Ooh, fancy. There's a hieroglyph to the owner's manual in case you don't know what a cup holder is. This is pretty neat. The doors don't have an upper frame on them. It's like an older Subaru WRX. And the B-pillar actually says SQ8 TFSI Quattro. Tiniest door sill ever. Look at that. It's like an inch maybe. Well, that's neat. The mirrors are heated also. Pretty much everything in this vehicle is either covered in leather or Alcantara suede. The dash is all piano black with a little Quattro badge and a floating dial for the vent. Carbon fiber everywhere. As far as the infotainment system goes, you have two screens, one for the HVAC climate control down below and the actual infotainment and sound system up above. There's a lack of buttons in here, and at times it's a little annoying to have to tap on the screen. They do, however, give you a little toggle right here that is your volume, as well as you can move it to the sides to change tracks and use it to mute. The buttons it does have though are very convenient. Like this one, you press, and it's a quick access to the robot safety aids that you can just tap on how much you want them to intervene. Whoa, look at all the options on that. Oh, I can oh, the wheels are wrong. Has built-in Google Earth navigation that lets you view the Earth and you can zoom in on stuff. The almost 2,000 watt, 23 speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system in here is as incredible as you would expect it to be. It is an extra add-on, so for as expensive as it is, it should be impressive. Especially the crisp, clear highs, thanks to the little tweeters that look like mushrooms that pop up out of the dash. The gauge cluster is a full digital display. Controls are fairly simple actually, right here on the wheel. You can change the way it looks. The brake lights are actually real. They come on when I press the brake. Electronic parking brake. This also has a feature to allow robots to park it for you if you're not good at driving or your hands are full. If I tap on light and visibility, you can custom configure how you want your headlights and taillights to display. Themes? Whoa, that's weird. Oh, that's sick. Inside the center console, some USB-Cs, a little shelf for some Kinder candies, giant panoramic roof, as you should expect. I wish there was controls on the steering wheel for the drive modes. That's one thing I like about Mercedes is the little dials they have. I'm gonna put this thing in comfy. The touchscreen has a little vibration, kind of like you have on an iPhone. I like that. It still feels kind of firm in comfort mode, and that's just because it's on a super low profile tire with a 23-inch wheel. A lot of people don't realize that tire is part of the suspension. It's so quiet on the inside of this thing. This sound deadening is probably up there towards one of the best of any vehicle, like especially luxury vehicle I've reviewed. The thing that stands out about Audis in the aspect of being a luxury vehicle is the way they style everything seems kind of timeless, like it will age well on the interior. And I own a classic Audi, and I will say that that holds true. They don't go for fads or gimmicks as much as other brands when it comes to styling on the interior. The thing that they don't do very well, and I'm not a fan of, and I hope they start diverting from that, is the touch capacitive stuff that they have in Volkswagens as well. It's not as user-friendly when you're driving. If you're just kind of relaxed and you build up that muscle memory because you own the vehicle, it's probably not as bad. Now, as far as colors go, they do offer a fair range of colors on this thing, but for whatever reason, Audi just always sends gray when they send a press vehicle. The Mercedes offerings, the AMGs, I mean, I love AMG V8s. As a complete vehicle, especially from a maintenance perspective, as someone that works on vehicles, I would choose this over the Mercedes. It's a lot less complex looking underneath the hood. As far as fuel efficiency goes, it's actually pretty good. I was averaging, for the week I was driving this, a little over 17 miles per gallon for a 5,000 pound vehicle with 500 horsepower. That's not bad. It is now time to give the SQ8 some scores, starting with the bean score, the assessment of feeling you get in your gut when you give it the beans. And it gets a rating of... Next is the cookie score, the assessment of value. And this SQ8 is fully specced out with every options package added to it at just over $130,000. So it gets a rating of... At that price, you might as well just go for the RSQ8. I mean, more power is more important. I would just get one of these with maybe the sport package for that rear diff and the stereo, and that's it. Next is the wrench score, the assessment of ease of maintenance, and it gets a rating of... Followed by the squid score, the assessment of handling, and the SQ8 gets a rating of... Lastly is the penguin score, the assessment on how much I personally like a vehicle, and the SQ8 gets a rating of... I like this thing because it's kind of a middle finger to what is popular and selling right now in the automotive market. Everyone wants a blob that they can stuff a bunch of junk in, but Audi's like, oh yeah, well how about we give you Quattro and twin turbo V8? That's what's up. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'll see you soon with another. Bye!
This video is sponsored by me, my very own car detailing product company, RoboBubble, made in USA. And if you'd like to use what I use to keep my cars clean and also support this channel, this is how you can on my website, sarahandtune.com. Thanks!